Well, I don't think so. We are anticipating, though we are wanting that, and we are anticipating that it will cool off and they'll become much lower. But seeing the geopolitical war happening and seeing also the demand and also the last moment of the flights coming in and with very still restricted, inventory, I don't think it's going to be cooling down very quickly. It's going to take some time, and maybe this whole season goes it because this is the season time, and people have got a lot of went up demands right now. So it's always a demand and supply where the aviation industry is concerned. So the even if the fuel does go down, if the demand is there, I don't think the fares are going to come down so easily. And we are looking at the trend, and even the forecast I'm looking and I'm trying to really monitor them. The fares are pretty high, and I think most of the countries that's going to happen. Leaving the countries which of course people are still not wanting to travel. Yes. I always feel India is the focal country where tourism is concerned. It's how we take our steps forward, how we actually market ourselves. And I'm sure the Ministry of Tourism is working very hard towards it. They've recently appointed 20 tourist officers, all in sitting in the embassies and high consul in the consulates abroad, all around, 20 regions. And they have earlier ones also. And they are also focusing on inbound a lot. So I am very confident that India is going to remain a very tourist-driven destination. We are going to see more and more tourism really spiking a lot, and I am very, very confident that we should be encashing, not only working towards it, but I think we will be encashing this. Though it's not the correct season because our season actually inbound starts somewhere in September, but we have already seen that people have already started asking, checking out, trying to do their bookings. And I feel the tourism is going to bounce back in leaps and bounds because it is time. And like I said, I'm going to repeat myself, India is a plethora. We can actually get to enjoy every part of tourism in this country. And I feel very strongly about it. So I am very confident that tourism is indeed going to be the top priority market for all the countries. I mean, I'm going to put it here as I have the opportunity that, looking at this demand, TAAI has taken the initiative of, having a convention, our 66th convention in Colombo from 19 to the 22nd of April. And, we are talking about regional tourism. And I think that's another thing we need to look into it because I think regional tourism is going to be here to stay, and we need to build on those strengths, especially because I think they are the extension of a domestic market with all the flavor of international travel. So I think we need to encash these, we need to build on these, and the government knows because we've been connecting with them all over these 2 years to say how we can do that. I think regional tourism has a huge scope for India to rebound much quicker than any other country. Well, I can simply say that the travel agents are not mere agents, They are more like ambassadors now. And they know, they are also ambassadors. I always feel you don't need any ambassador because travel agents are ambassadors for their own country. And it's their business. It's their bread and butter. So I would say that we agents, from TAAI's perspective, we've been educating our entire membership to say how we can actually, go to be a travel agent as per the new norms because we know the demographic of a traveler, a tourist destination, and the way of travel is all changing, So we need to adopt this. So we are actually the guides. We are the ones who handhold our clients. We are the ones who tell them about the right protocols. So I think, that's the value that the travel agents are going to add. And of course, the traveler will look into all these because he needs more confidence. He needs to be told that, wherever he is traveling, he's going to be safe. So we now need a next level of confidence. First, it was a limited confidence perspective that was looked into. But now I think after post-COVID, we are going to be looking at many more levels of confidence that need to be given to a traveler, and we are absolutely equipped for that because we've been training our staff and ourselves in the last 2 years. Of course, we had to learn. These were like baby steps to be taken because we didn't know what COVID was like, but I think we have been able to infuse that motivation, that confidence into the entire fraternity, and we'll be able to take that forward. So that's a very important question, because I think sustainability is going to be playing a very, very big part. We need to build on sustainable tourism, and we need to build on, uh, I would say, policies that we don't have over tourism in any one state also. So we have discussed this with the government many times, with Ministry of Tourism, and we are looking at it. We are also looking at new avenues, new places where we can actually take more tourists into the fold. We are talking to states how we can look forward to that. So we are going to be looking into the entire format, and Ministry of Tourism is supporting us, and we are supporting them to get those numbers, see how we can actually do that, because people I have really suffered in the last 2 years. They've been cooped up inside in between the four walls. They are dying to get out. So, and we've seen that because we had continuous domestic tourism happening, and we saw certain places which it was literally like over tourism, and they became more flooded with tourists than anything else. But I'm sure India's, like I said, is a huge spread, and we will be able to, actually curtail the right numbers into right destinations. See, TAAI's vision and mission is in line with the government, but we have our, comments when we don't go along with them also at times, because that is the best way of, discussing things. Because always when you are a critic from both sides, it is best results are derived from that. You can't just say, okay, whatever the government is doing is right and whatever we are doing is right. So there has to be a balance there, firstly. So we are still talking about a lot of things like the GST needs to be, lessened. We need to have less GST on our travel. The TCS which has come in, which is for foreign travel, needs to be removed in totality. We are talking about incentives for MICE, for weddings. We see MICE going out so much from our country. We see a lot of weddings going out from our country. So how can we incentivize to keep that in our own country for corporates, for travel agents? So we are actually talking to the government to do all this too, because it has to be a win-win situation for both of us, the government, the tourism ministry, the country, because we also are depending a lot. We've lost a lot in the last 2 years, and I believe we have had huge job losses in this industry. We have suffered economically too because of tourism and everything shut. So we need to rebuild on that, and to rebuild on that, we have to invest a little bit more. And I've always said this, and I keep repeating myself. There was a time I used to feel that India could have been the strongest hub between the east and the west where aviation is concerned, and we shouldn't have given this opportunity to our neighboring countries, where we see that there is so much of traffic which is coming from even from India and then moving forward. So we need to create that and recreate that hub now. And I think crisis, like I am repeating it, crisis does bring opportunities. We need to build on these opportunities to say how we can develop India again into a very, very strong hub. So anyone who's transiting would like to have a break in India, spend a few days and then move forward maybe. So I think there are a lot of opportunities for the Indian aviation tourism industry to actually work together and see how we can progress, and we should not be missing this opportunity. So these are some things that strategic policy decisions which we are absolutely in tangent with our ministry to say how we can take forward. So both ministries, we are always in touch with them to say how we can do these things. Of course, the protocols, and I'm going to repeat it here again, the protocols of every state should be the same, because we have suffered a lot. We need to actually open the borders of every state. Leaving could be the red spot somewhere where you still see COVID or something, which if it's still there, we need to look into that. We see countries are doing away with masks, they are doing away with social distancing, because we need to adopt these new normals and move forward. It's time that we say it's an endemic and not a pandemic, and move forward with our strength, our own vision, and move forward. We are adults, we know how to protect we should be knowing by now how to protect ourselves. So what is the social distancing like? Do we really need to wear a mask? Do we not really need to make a mask? We are the country which is hugely vaccinated. So looking into all these things, there is so much happening that I think let everyone take the decision and say yes. And I'm going to say it here, that the virus doesn't need borders. It doesn't need a boarding card. So we have to see that the borders are open for domestic, the borders are open for international, so that there is no cut down on travel, because tourism is all about experiences, tourism is all about people to people connect, and tourism is all, it's a very strong backbone of each and every country globally. So we have to take that in our stride now, and we've learned our lessons. So we need to learn from our past to say how we can build a beautiful future with a huge vision. And I think we can do that, but yes, we do need the government support for the ease of business and to reduce some taxes and give some incentives so that we bounce back quickly and revive. I'll always believe in PPP model, the public private partnership model with the government, and I continue to do that because I believe it has to be a win-win situation for both of us.